Hello everyone, welcome back to the Joy of Pro Wrestling Network. I'm your host Mark Ross, and today we are discussing Wrestlemania Backlash 2022. This event was held in Providence, Rhode Island, and this event was sold out according to WWE. I didn't get the exact attendance, but this event was sold out, and it did seem like there was a really loud crowd there and a very full house. So I don't think they were lying to us there. The crowd was very into it all night, and you couldn't really ask for a better wrestling crowd than Providence gave the WWE last night. So this event was held on May 8th, 2022. Most of these matches were like return matches from WrestleMania. You know, kind of like rematches of the WrestleMania matches that we saw. It's kind of usually the way Backlash is, but seemed like the pay-per-view would be like pretty boring. I didn't really look forward to watching it. Really, all I wanted to see really was Cody and Seth, and but the pay-per-view surprised me, and as the night went on, the matches and the show was a little bit, it was better than what I was expecting it to be. So Backlash kicks off with Cody versus Seth, and before this started, I was hoping that they would start the show like this, so I could see the match I was most looking forward to at the beginning of the night and not have to wait all night and worry about falling asleep and missing it and watching it later. But so the show starts out with Cody and Seth. The crowd is really loud. They're really excited. Seth comes out in his garment that he wore at WrestleMania, his kind of goofy blue outfit that he was dancing around in at WrestleMania 38 before he got to the ring, and Cody comes out, of course, in his what would you call it, his suit, his winged jacket, sports jacket suit. He's really got a unique look going to him, and honestly, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Bret Hart and what he wore in the '90s, especially the early '90s, coming out as champion with that winged eagle belt, you know. And that's what Cody's looking to do, and he's really got a awesome look to him that I think he's really getting over with the fans, and even maybe some of the fans that weren't familiar with what he was doing over in AEW. There was a point in the show where they were talking about, ring rust, and Corey Graves like, he don't got ring rust. He's been wrestling all over the world, for the past 6 years, which is true. Corey Graves is pretty good at his job, and his wrestling history, and just little things that he says. And I'll mention something that he said during the Omos versus Bobby Lashley match coming up. That he always throws little things in there, little shout outs to old wrestlers and this and that, and little winks, to some of the boys. But anyway, the match starts out with Cody and Seth. This is, their rematch from WrestleMania Part 2. The match starts out, and the first match, Seth wasn't really prepared. He didn't know who he was going to wrestle at WrestleMania. Vince kept it a secret from him. And then it just so happened to be Cody. So, Seth comes back into this match, and he's, a little bit, well, actually, he's very prepared. Cody's going to try a barrage of moves in his moveset, and Seth's going to, have the timing down and reverse it. The match started out with some test of strength stuff, some backing off stuff, and but Cody tried that that bump uppercut that he does, and then he comes up with the gold dust uppercut, that he does, and Seth was, one step ahead of him, and he reversed that, and I think he tried to do it again, and then he reversed it again. But the match was back and forth. Cody's able to finally hit that patented uppercut on Seth. Then he gives him a devastating brainbuster suplex, which he kept him in the air for a good long while. And then it wasn't like a normal brainbuster. When he came down, he planted him on his face, which was pretty cool. And then he disaster kicks Rollins for a near fall, so he only gets a 2 count. Then Cody tries a second disaster kick. Let's see here, what's it say? Cody then tries a second disaster kick, and Rollins throws him off of the apron. Okay, so Rollins, takes back control after he kind of counters that move that Cody was getting ready to do. Once again, he's one step ahead of Cody in this one here. Let's see here. Rollins cinches in a deep sleeper hold on Cody. He really got it in, and he's got him down on the mat, and really probably doing some illegal choking maneuver there, but it's really got an effect on Cody. But Cody eventually fights out of the sleeper, and they fight their way onto the turnbuckle, and then Cody hits a suplex, and both men are down. Very good match so far. Still back and forth, basically. But they both get up and they start brawling and trading fists and chops, and they're really going in on each other. And Cody is able to hit a Cody cutter for another near fall. The crowd's loving it, going crazy. Seth gets up and gives Cody a fight, and he hits the enziguri, and then he just gave him a badass super kick to the face and pins Cody for a 2 count. So another near fall. A lot of near falls in this match. A few of them you really thought the match was going to end, especially later on in Seth's favor. Seth then attempts the pedigree. Cody escapes the attempt, and then he attempts a pedigree of his own. And then he's really working the crowd, and he gives them a look, gives the crowd a look, and the crowd's going nuts. And Rollins reverses that with a spinning discus punch and really planting a good elbow into him, and dazed him, Then he hits Rhodes in the back of the head with another elbow, just straight up, bam, welcome back, Cody, another one of them. And then he hits a signature Falcon Arrow for another near fall. The crowd at this point, they're loving it, and they're chanting, "This is awesome," of course, but rightfully so during this match. You get a lot of "this is awesome" during whatever kind of match, but this one right here deserves it here. Cody tries to kick off the ropes for another Cody cutter, and then Seth catches Rhodes and gives him a buckle bomb, the power bomb into the corner of the turnbuckle, and then he hits a frog splash for another 2 count. So it's getting even closer and closer in Seth's favor with these near falls, to the point to where I was like, man, Seth's probably going to win this here. The fighting continues. Rollins hits a superplex. Then he hit the superplex on Cody, and he kept him locked in, and to get back up to do like maybe another suplex, or I think he was going to maybe do his Falcon Arrow and end the match. And but yeah, he hits the superplex, and he tries for another move, which would probably been the Falcon Arrow, and Cody reverses that into a crossroads. And good ring psychology or mental awareness or ring awareness to know where he was at. And Seth, he rolled after the move, after Cody hit him with the crossroads. He rolled to the ropes. Cody pinned him, and then he kicked out, or no, he didn't kick out, but he got the rope break. So good awareness for him to kind of roll after the move over to the ropes to get the rope break, so he could put his foot on the rope. So very good match. Very good match. Seth gets a rope break. Rhodes attempts a moonsault and misses, allowing Rollins to hit the pedigree for the 2 count. Another near fall, and this near fall right here, I thought was over. I thought, man, that it would be a good way to take it home right here. But the match went on. There's a sequence of moves between the two, and then Seth catches Rhodes in a roll-up. He catches Seth in a roll-up, and he's got his tights, cheating, and he almost gets the 3 count. And after that, Cody reversed that and did the same and grabbed his tights, and only he got the 3 count. So Cody cheats to win. I guess you could say, Seth deserved it. Seth was going to cheat, so why can't Cody? But it says in between the sequence of moves between the finish, Cody attempted a vertebreaker, which I don't think I've seen that move in a while. Which Corey Graves called that one out. He's like, what is he doing? Is he attempting is that a vertebreaker? And I was like, well, it is. I ain't seen that in a while, or at least, maybe I ain't watched enough wrestling. But anyhow, Cody cheats. I guess. He does. He does. He breaks the rules. The ref ain't looking, so that gives another opening for the 3rd match. I'm not too much of a fan of 50-50 booking, but I kind of thought Seth, if they're going to have a rematch, that Seth maybe should win the second one. But, Cody goes up 2-0, which I didn't want Cody to lose. But I also kind of didn't want to see, if Cody beat Seth for the second time, I didn't want to see a 3rd time him beating him again. I mean, what's the point? But it kind of has an opening, kind of a story there. Seth got screwed over once again. The first time he didn't know who his opponent was, and the second time, even though he tried to cheat himself in the pin, in the roll-up, grabbing Cody's tights, and Cody did that to him, it is what it is. But it looks like there's probably going to be another match between them. And they've been producing some great matches. I'm not going to forget these. They're going to stand out as some of the best matches of the year. A great feud for Cody coming back to the WWE with a talent the caliber of Seth. And I thought Seth's character was getting a little dry before this feud with Cody, but even though Seth's losing, he's still putting on good quality matches and showstoppers. So but good job to them both. Great match to kick off the show. Good luck to the rest of the guys and girls, having to follow that. But good match to kick off the opening of Backlash. So match 2, we got Omos with MVP and versus Bobby Lashley. And Bobby Lashley came out and wrestled Omos. He beat him at WrestleMania without MVP, and he kind of wanted to, I guess, go his own separate way from MVP. They're turning him babyface, but they do the double cross with MVP, and MVP's the talking piece now for Omos, which they're calling the Nigerian Giant. So he's got a little bit of a story behind him, where he comes from, who he is. He keeps getting a little better every week. People talk shit about him, but he's doing all right, and he's in there working with Bobby Lashley, and they have a pretty good match, really. I was expecting kind of the same match. I thought Bobby would beat him, like he did it at WrestleMania. He went over at WrestleMania, as the babyface or whatnot. But it's Backlash time. It's revenge time for Omos. He's looking to destroy Bobby. But they're, the two out there, and MVP 2, they're not having the same matches they did at WrestleMania, which was great. Cody and Seth didn't either. They had a total different match, which was still great. But the Omos versus Bobby Lashley rematch was even better from WrestleMania, which wasn't even that bad of a WrestleMania match, to be honest. It was short and to the point. It's kind of how this one was. It went a little bit longer than that one did, I think, but it's allowing Omos to grow. And I think that they're really putting kind of faith in him as a big guy there in the company. And Bobby Lashley is helping build that character with MVP. And another case, Bobby Lashley, he loses this match from outside interference with help from MVP, which the finish was great. I believe that Bobby Lashley was getting ready to go for a spear, and then Omos kind of threw him through the ropes to the turnbuckle, and then he hit the post with his shoulder, and he's kind of sitting there resting. Omos turns around. The referee, referee's backing him away so Bobby can get back up and get his composure back in, get his, strength to stand back up. And while that's going on, MVP pokes him, hits him in the eye with the cane, and, Omos turns around with that big claw and picks him up and power bombs him, slams him down for the 1, 2, 3. I like the finish to that. That was pretty good. So there's some 50-50 right there. So it's not always bad. So now might be the time to put them in a cell. MVP can't get in, so, of course, that's the next pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. And I think their feud should be settled in the cell. Question is, can Omos beat him without MVP? Bobby Lashley's been in the cell before, if I'm not mistaken, so he's got some experience there on Omos. But it could be a great experience for Omos and a good, one more premier match underneath his belt, one more big match for his experience, decent match to follow up the banger of an opener. But match 3 is AJ Styles versus Edge, and Damian Priest is barred from ringside, so he can't come out and assist Edge in any way, which he will anyway, kind of. But once again, a great story being told with their match. Their match was, from what I remember, there were spots in it that Edge was just being a total asshole, playing a really good heel, holding submissions for longer than the count allowed, and grinding his face into the mat and doing just heel asshole things, looking really good doing it too. But they're having I would probably say, a better match than they did at WrestleMania, and the finish is AJ's gonna get screwed again with the finish, but it was it was a pretty good finish here. So Damian Priest comes out, and he stays like 20 feet from the ring, and he's all like telling the referee, I'm allowed. I don't have to be. I can't be at ringside, but that don't mean I can't be, right here. And the ref's like, whatever, telling him, so Priest is causing a distraction. AJ's about ready to end the match, and AJ's like looking at him, telling the referee, you got to get this guy out of here. And while their backs are turned, here comes, some more help from Edge. That was kind of the clue. If they were going to bring another person into Edge, their group with Edge and Damian Priest, which everybody was talking about a third member. People thought it, was a few different people. It turned out to be who everyone expected it to be, or thought that it was going to be. But great finish, Damian Priest is down there and he's all like causing a distraction, but all the same while he's not at ringside. AJ's distracted by it. He can't, he's almost got Edge finished. And if it wasn't for that, he'd probably beat him. And then, a masked person in black came down, and who I believe to be Rhea Ripley the whole time. And, of course, it turned out to be, and I don't think that she unmasked until after the match. And then Byron Saxton, I knew he was kind of giving it a dead giveaway when he was like, "Who is he? Who is he? No, who is he?" And it's like, it's not a he, it's a her, and you're gonna find out it's gonna be Rhea Ripley. And it was pretty badass, So now they've got their trinity, their three, it's gonna be pretty good. I'm a fan of it. I'm happy for Damian Priest, and maybe this will give life to Rhea Ripley again too. She's been getting kind of thrown around in the mix, and same thing happened to Damian Priest. Edge is, I think, the one probably puppeteering behind the scenes, politicking for these two, and they're gonna make some impact here, I believe. But Finn Balor comes out. I forgot to mention that the whole time Damian Priest, that's how Damian Priest kind of got out of the scene. Priest was out there, AJ's yelling at him, and then Finn comes from behind. They end up kind of fighting and rolling around in the ring, and then they fight outside of the ring, and that's causing distraction, and that's, allowing Rhea to just come up, and Rhea grabs AJ's arm, which they'd sell with the crossface, so Rhea grabs AJ's arm with the move, but you don't know it's Rhea yet, but AJ's hurt, he gets back, slingshots him, whatever, and then Edge puts him into the crippler, and he doesn't give up though. He passes out, so the match ends, and Edge beats him that way. So maybe that ain't over yet either. We're going to have some feuds go on even after WrestleMania for a while, it seems. But this is pretty cool, though, because now Finn's involved. So now you've got not only Damian Priest, Rhea getting lost in the shuffle, but now Finn has something to do, too. So, it's pretty decent writing, if you ask me. But, okay. We'll move on. Match number 4, Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte. I Quit match. This match was decent. I actually went back the night before and watched the I Quit match with her father, Ric Flair, versus, Charlotte's dad, Ric Flair, versus Terry Funk. Brutal I Quit match, and I wanted to go back and watch it again and see if they were going to add any, refresh my memory on that match. Kind of hoping and waiting to see if they would take any elements and put that into this match here. You know, not move for move, but just little subtle things from that match, but which never really happened. They had their own kind of match, and it worked out pretty well. They it, they gave it, you know, both women gave it their all in this match. Really, I believe, trying to put on the best show they can. Charlotte really gets a lot of hate, but she was good in this match. This is probably I think one of her best pieces of work. Just her personality coming out in her character in this match. She cried a lot in the match, you know, and like she was digging down real deep. She getting emotional, like, why can't I beat her, you know? They were fighting out in the crowd. Ronda put a badass hold on her on the ropes, you know, on the outside of the apron, and you know, there's nowhere she can go. She, you know, it's the only way to end it. Say I quit. You know, you can't get a rope break in an I quit match. So Ronda's, you know, allowed to do this, and you know, that was a brutal match. Chairs were involved. Real shoot, you know, wrestling holds were applied. I believe Charlotte even semi broke her arm with a badass finish by Ronda. But you know, so Ronda beats Charlotte, which, you know, Ronda's Rousey and that character. She's never gonna say that I quit. You know, that's not her. And you know, so, but she's bland. And my problem with her is, you know, the whole time, like after she won and applied the move, and then, which I think, you know, really hurt Charlotte, you know, so Charlotte's, you know, laying on the mat, and the bell rings, and Ronda's just like, the referee's trying to hand her the title. You know, she just won the freaking WWE Women's Championship. You know, she beat, you know, Charlotte Flair, you know, but she's just too worried about mouthing Charlotte while she's down, and not about, like, I just became champion, they're trying to hand me the belt and I don't even give a shit. Like, that's my problem with her. I don't feel like she gives a shit. And even walking up the apron, I think she held the belt up one time. Like, she's just mouthing the whole damn time walking to the back. And like, I know she's not a seasoned veteran, but she's a veteran. She knows what she's doing. I mean, she just put on a classic with Charlotte, but like, come on, like, enjoy the title a little while you have it, and be proud of that. Anyway, it just kind of upset me and kind of pissed me off about her, and I'm not a fan, and I hope she isn't champion for very long. Another fucking thing. She came back wearing this baddest shit on her her ring gear. And you know, she ain't like, that's the ESTs, right? Like, she's stepping on toes, I think, with that. You know, she's like, yeah, the baddest bitch or whatever. You know, put that on your shirt, baddest bitch. Don't put baddest, because she ain't the fucking EST. You know, Bianca is. She didn't even have a match tonight. I digress. Anyway, match number 5. I look forward to this match too. I'm a fan of Madcap Moss. I think he's really good, and I think that people in the back are a fan of him too. So they're giving him a little push. Happy Corbin, you know, doing the job to him. Madcap wins by pinfall. So Madcap, you know, beats Corbin. Maybe they can go their separate ways now. I don't know where Madcap goes after this, but hopefully there will be a spot for him. Now he's babyface, you know. What the fuck? I just got chased by 2 bumblebees, and that is a shoot, boys and girls. But anyway, back to it. Madcap, he wins. He beats Happy Corbin. And now we move on to match number 6. Not a lot of matches. This is the main event of the evening. I think the Seth and Cody match took up about 30 to 40 minutes of the first part of the show. And I noticed that the Raw matches were at the beginning of the show, and they took up the first half of the show, and then Michael Cole took over on SmackDown, and Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, but they called the last half of Backlash with the SmackDown matches. But anyway, the main event was the 6-man schmoz match between RK Bro and Drew McIntyre versus the Usos with Roman Reigns. It was a better match than I thought it would be. It had some decent psychology to it. Roman played the part real well. Like he played kind of like he's too good to be out there with all them peasants, wrestling. But when he did, he got in there and kicked some ass. But, the bloodline wins. I think Jey Uso one of them was doing a frog splash off the top, and then Roman was still the legal man. Roman and Riddle, and then Roman speared Riddle, and he got the pinfall. And the bloodline win. So the bloodline, they continue their dominance as one of the main stables in WWE history. They're really proving it. They're a true dynasty, and I think they'll only get stronger if the rumor's true and The Rock comes back and he looks to face Roman. I've got my ideas on how I'd like that to go down, but that's, in a separate video. But if you've liked this video, if you made it this far, please push the like button, share it with some people that might be some wrestling fans, and trying to get my channel a little bigger. I've got a few subscribers, but I'd like that to grow, and start a community of wrestling fans that like to chat with me and talk about these things. If you want to look for me, you can add me on Facebook. My name's Mark Ross, the Joy Pro Wrestling Network. Just check me out, and please subscribe if you haven't, and be looking forward to these kinds of videos. More coming soon. But hope everybody enjoyed this video, and I hope everybody enjoyed Backlash this year, and hope everybody has a great day. Talk to you later.